What's up? Tired. Gotta start working in a couple of hours, but I stepped out to drop my daughter off because she, needed to work today. And so I wanted to stop for a moment and talk about something I saw. Um, People were contacting me to talk about this content creator. Her name is Olivia. I think she has a channel called Lives Life, and she's dating this guy named Gerard. And her and Gerard was doing a live stream together. Now, they sent me the live stream, and it was kind of hard for me to look at because if it's not intellectually stimulating for me, I can't watch it. So they sent me the live, and in it, I saw that they were drinking. Gerard and Olivia were drinking and you know flirting with each other, doing what couples do. And somebody sent me another link because at first when I was sent the first link, I didn't see what the big deal was because I was just like, oh, they on live. I've done that before. I did that with my son's father. When we was together, we did live streams drunk. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's nothing. But then somebody sent me another clip, and in the second clip, it was Olivia getting upset with Minister Jap because Minister Jap was coming into her live stream asking her questions. Now, anyone who has been on YouTube for a couple of years in the black sector, you know who Minister Jap is. And Minister Jap has an issue with just about every single mother, on the planet who is African American. Okay, and of course he's made me the butt of his jokes for whatever reasons, right? And so my conclusion to all things me and Minister Jap has been simple. It's been, look, he can think what he wants to think. He can say whatever he wants to say. Just stop like attacking me. You know what I'm saying? Like stalking and harassing me. Like all that's unnecessary. It's okay to, have your opinion, but the excessive like roasting and talking about the same like person over and over again, it gets like weird. And so anyway, he's asking her something, Olivia, something in her chat, and I think she very much understood the question. I mean, people was trying to say, people who did reaction videos were basically saying that she didn't understand the questions that he was asking her because of the way that she was responding, but she understood the questions, I think. I mean, I don't think she's completely incompetent. I think she was drunk, not stupid. You know what I'm saying? But she he asked her something that caught my damn attention because usually when I see Minister Job like taunting somebody or tormenting somebody, a single mother, he rarely uses a level of respect or logic when he's talking. So when I saw that he asked Olivia this question, I really wanted to see what her answer was. And to me, I think a lot of women think this way. And this is why I wanted to talk about it right fast. So he asked her, what type of lifestyle was Gerard provided for her? Now Gerard is a guy that she was with for 7 years, I think, and they have kids together. And they're from what I see, because I didn't watch her channel, I haven't watched her channel yet, but I did see she had some videos on there where she was talking about that uh, they were going to get evicted, and she did a couple of videos about Gerard not having a job and supposedly he's going to get a job soon, whatever, right? This video is not about and Gerard per se. It's more about what Minister Jap asked her, because this is something that women need to think about when they're dealing with men. What type of lifestyle are they providing for you or helping you get? It isn't about, Olivia twerking online because, she got videos of her twerking, right? Get videos of her twerking and videos of her doing ratchet shit, whatever. I'm not here to judge nobody that's do what they do is for them. The name of the girl's channel is called Live's Life. That means whatever Liv wanna post and what's ever happening in her life is what she gonna share. You understand? She decided she wanted to do a vlog channel. So she's going around and she's talking about, the things that's happening in her life. So when Jep asked her this, when he asked her, what type of lifestyle is Gerard providing for you? And her answer was basically, I'm on boss bitch status. You know, I don't need for Gerard to basically be, the provider. You understand? Like I could go out there and I can get it myself, right? Now, to me, now I can relate now. Don't get it twisted. I can relate. To me, anytime a woman is planning on having a family with somebody or being in a long-term relationship with somebody or whatever the case, if you planning on spending time with a man, even if you just casually sleeping with him, there needs to be some type of partnership there. Okay, y'all need to be trying to help each other with each other's lives on some degree. Like if you're not trying to help me improve, I have no reason to sleep with you, hang out with you, waste any of my time with you. And I feel like with a lot of women, we feel so independent. We take so much pride in taking care of ourselves that when we meet men, we don't require that they contribute to our lifestyle. You understand? So with Olivia, I feel like she wanted to come off in this live stream as if she was like this woman who was financially, in a good place and financially doing so well. But if she was and didn't need Gerard's assistance or any man's assistance, I don't think eviction would be something that she would, be worried about. I know for me, I've been evicted. I know what it feels like to need help. Remember, I was homeless. So, of course, I was expecting my son's father to help provide and to help pull us out of the situation that we was in before I moved to California. A lot of people know he left me in a motel. Like in the middle of us looking for a place to live, I'm pregnant, and instead of my son's father having his priorities trying to get us out of that situation, he was more concerned about what kind of women he could sleep with. So when I look at myself and how my son's father used to help with my lifestyle, I don't know what made him choose to no longer want to have one family unit to where we have a partnership. I think it was because when I got sick, I couldn't like work as much. You know what I mean? Like when you're sick, of course you can't really work. So, of course you're not going to bring in as much money as you would. So, I'm assuming because of that, he was kind of like, "Oh, she's not uh doing her part." But how could a person do their part and be sick at the same time? You can't. If you're not working, you can't. So, ladies, when you get with men and they do something as, I don't know, irresponsible as what my son's father did, or as irresponsible as I believe Gerard has been, these are men that you need to think twice about procreating with. Because see, to me, I always thought because I was financially in a good place and when I do work, I have money, that it didn't matter what a man brought to the table. You understand? It didn't matter whether he was financially in a good place or not. It didn't matter, you know, um, whether or not he would give me money. But now that I was in a position to where I needed my son's father to kick in financially because I was sick and he didn't do it, now I look at it very differently. Like that's the first thing I'm wanting from a man now. Now it's like, okay, the first characteristic I look for in a man now is that he has to be willing to provide on a level that's better than mine. Like, if he's not trying to help me improve as a woman, I don't want to have nothing to do with him. And I had to become that because initially it was, I want to help whoever I'm with, because I guess I was classifying in my mind that I don't know, that I always be good, so if a man came into my life and he was, not as financially in a good place, I could still accept him for who he was, because I was always going to be good, because I'm going to go out there and I'm going to get what I get, because I'm going to go out here and I'm going to get my bread. I'm going to survive whether I have a man or not. So to me, I was thinking, well, I could be with any type of man. If he doesn't have his finances together, I could still help him out. But what I wasn't considering is that if ever I needed him, could he return the favor? You see what I'm saying? So as women like Olivia, I don't know her situation to judge her. You know what I mean? I only know what she has been showing on YouTube and what people have been saying. I don't know details to be as specific as I would like to be about this mom. But I do know that it's okay to get online and have fun. People get online and they use the internet for entertainment purposes. They get on there and they have fun. So I can't look at her and think because she twerking in a video or she drunk with her man and they flirting that she's a bad mom. You know what I mean? Because mom and girlfriend and whatever are two different roles. I can't really judge her on that. But I can say that by the way that Gerard carries himself or carried himself in the few clips I saw, that's not a man that any woman should feel comfortable with being with the way that he is now. It doesn't mean he's going to be like that forever. It doesn't mean that he, it's like this bad guy and he isn't going to be a great dad or a great husband or a great whatever. He just needs to work on himself. Honestly, that's what I think. And I don't think he has a level of respect for her that she deserves. And it's almost like she don't see that. And a lot of times when you in love with somebody, you don't see that. Because people was telling me stuff when I was in a relationship with priests that I could not see. And them two been together way longer than me and my son's father was. Like, they were together for 7 years. So we as strangers can look at this woman's life, right? And be like, yo, you deserve better than this dude. Or maybe you shouldn't be on the internet twerking. Maybe you should be doing something else. But who are we to tell her what's right for her? Like, only she knows. Only she knows. We could give her advice. We could say, maybe you shouldn't be doing this, or maybe whatever. She's still going to do whatever it is that she wants to do. And you can only do as well as what you understand or what you're ready to understand. Like, for example, if like I said, you could give her advice all day, but if she's not ready to hear that, or if she's not ready to change her own life or her own situation, it's nothing that we can do about that. You understand? If she does not see that she deserves better than what she's getting, then there's nothing that we can do. Cause see, according to her, she could be thinking everything is 100% with her relationship. Maybe she getting everything she want out of the situation. Maybe. You never know with people. But sometimes I look at women in that situation and I'm like, yo, the way that he is even treating you in front of us just shows how much respect he has or does not have for you. And to me, I just feel like, without me trying to be like too judgmental of two complete strangers, just from what I've seen, the two of them and their relationship is only about pleasure and convenience. Not really love, but kind of convenience and pleasure, like sexual pleasure. And that's probably not even their relationship, but that's what it comes off as, even though they've been together for 7 years. Out of all of the times I've seen Minister Jap come into somebody's chat and say something ridiculous, this is the first time ever in the history of me seeing Minister Jap say anything that he asked somebody a question that actually made sense to me, and he wasn't even rude with it. I was like, oh my God, thank you, dude. Like, damn. Like, here's my thing. I know when women come to me and they come in my comment section and they talk about Jap all the time. And sometimes when people say things about Jap and it's like too far, I delete it. Whether it's good or bad, it's just like, that's too much. I don't want that in my comment section. But when people come into my comment section and they talk to me about Jap, and they talked to me about the things that he said about single mothers. I already know what he said. I already know what it is, because when I first ran into him, the way he disrespected me and the way I saw him disrespecting women on Facebook, this was 3 years ago. I was like, I can't deal. I refuse. I'm like, hell no. But I'm not going to have a man around me who thinks that it's okay to disrespect women in that way. I can't do it, regardless to what his opinion is. So over the years, when I've seen him give his opinion before, it's always an insult attached to it. But to me, it's like, yo, you could give your opinion about somebody else and you could help somebody's life for real if you give them your opinion, give them a solution without you having to insult them, make an assumption, or make an accusation. If you leave those three out and you give people advice that's based upon the little bit of information that you know, it's easier for someone to stomach your message. And regardless to whether you're trying to keep it real or not, keeping it real, whatever, you know how y'all are. Regardless to whether you're trying to keep it real or not, I'm not saying sugarcoat shit, but at the same time, it's kind of like, yeah, sugarcoat shit, because you get more bees with honey. Like you get, like if you really, like say for instance, you Minister Jap, right? Let me just say 2 minutes to Jap. You got this message where you want to help, men not date single mothers. You want to bring to the attention of other men that single mothers are this, that, and the third, right? Okay, that's your message. Then you got a whole nother message where you're talking to women and single mothers, right? And you want them to take your advice. You want them to hear what you're saying. You want them to realize that, they could do better for themselves, or they could choose better men, or they shouldn't have been single mothers or whatever. You don't kick an injured person while they down. You understand? You don't like make fun of somebody and think that that's going to make them better or that's going to help them. All it does is make the situation worse, make them more angry with you. That's why so many women out here who feel negatively about Jab. It isn't that he has the opinion, because it's okay to have an opinion. Most of us got that shit. So most of us can look at somebody else and respect somebody else's opinion if we adults. But the fact that try to make somebody feel bad because they chose something different, or maybe they chose something poorly, or maybe they made a mistake, that's the shit that's getting a whole bunch of women. Because I'm seeing women like, yo, I can't stand this Minister Jap dude because he disrespectful as fuck. Why do you think people like Derek Jackson so much? Let me tell you why women love Derek Jackson. First of all, Derek Jackson is fine as hell. So a lot of women think, damn, he fine as hell. Let me just listen to what he got to say because he fine, right? This is what women do. But number two, when a woman is making a mistake and Derek sees that a woman is making a mistake, the way that he addresses this woman is still filled with a level of respect, regardless to whether he feels like she disrespects herself or not. And we just talking about 9 times out of 10. We're not talking about these exceptions to the rules where women are saying Derek Jackson cussed them out or disrespected them or whatever. We talking about usually when Derek Jackson is speaking to a woman, he has a level of respect for a woman because he's a man. Men are supposed to have respect for women even if they disagree with some of the things that women do. Even if you feel like a person isn't respecting themselves. Of course, I have met some people and felt like they wasn't respecting themselves, but even if I feel like you're disrespecting yourself, I'm not going to look at your life, see the choices that you make and see you disrespecting yourself, and then I join in and start disrespecting you. No, because that's a reflection of who I am as a person. So if I see a chick out here disrespecting herself, the first thing I'm going to try to do is show her a level of respect and say, listen, what you're doing might not necessarily be the best decision. Maybe you should try X, Y, and Z. It's okay to be kind. And I feel like a lot of men out there were taught this like toxic masculinity that they feel like being kind is not something that, they can do. The guy that I'm dating right now, the guy that I'm interested in right now, let me tell you something. With us, from the beginning, from the very beginning, okay, he was already showing he was a provider. He always showed a level of respect, and even when I told him about my past, I told him things that was happening to me on YouTube. I told him what happened to me and my son's father. He wasn't the lame to sit here and put me on a life sentence. You know what he said to me? He said, I was wild when I was young too. I did stuff. I made mistakes. We all have. I'm not about to sit here and judge you because of that. And he's a single father himself. I'm a single mom. He's a single father. He has full custody of his daughter. So, what attracted me to this man is even if we disagree, like, say, for instance, we see a topic and we disagree, we come to a fair compromise. It's agreeing to disagree. He doesn't disrespect me simply because I disagree with him. And the reason why he doesn't is because he's a man. He knows he's dealing with a woman. He's not going to, suddenly become angry and toxic and making fun of me and cussing me out simply because we disagree with each other. That's so childish in his eyes. It's like, my goodness, he would never do nothing like that. It doesn't, I don't know, it just seems like it would be for him out of character to just decide to disrespect a woman simply because he disagrees with her, what she's saying, what she's doing, or her past, or whatever. Is he just not that type of dude? So, to me, I just feel like when men like Minister Jap, right, some type of way about something they see a woman doing, I just hope that you men start understanding that you should use your platform or you should use your voice to not just warn men to not be with the bad women, but also warn women and encourage women to be better women. And you can't do that by insulting them, roasting them, dragging them. That does not help these women, man, at all. Because think about what's happening to them already. If they're in a relationship with a man, like, say, for instance, we're going to use Olivia and Gerard as an example. By looking at Olivia and Gerard, you can tell that Gerard might not necessarily be the best man for her to be with, right? So pretty much she's getting disrespected in some type of way inside of this relationship, right? According to what we're just seeing. Doesn't mean that's what it is, but from what we're seeing. So if she's already being disrespected by the man that she's with, what makes you think you as a complete stranger can come to her and help her out by also disrespecting her? That's not logical. So when I'm dealing with men on YouTube with these underdeveloped minds where the first like reaction they have when they see a woman doing something that they disagree with is to drag her to filter, make her feel bad about herself as if that's somehow helpful to our community, just surprises me. And so many people clap when they see these men do this vile shit to women online. It's just weird to me. It's like, Men, when are you gonna realize that what you're doing is not helping? Like, it's not beneficial. It's not bringing anybody to a place where, I don't know, it's not promoting unity. You understand? It's not promoting healing or repairing anything. What it's doing is creating more division. When you see somebody in the black community, especially if you're trying to be a leader of the community or a minister or a preacher or whatever, church check in, church, you in here, check in. So if you're trying to do that, you know, if you're trying to be that person, make your platform welcoming, more welcoming for not just the people that like you roasting other people, but the other people that might need to hear your message. Like, some people might need to hear your message without the mud on top of it. Like, you don't have to like sprinkle like just nastiness on top of it for your message to be eaten. Like, don't nobody want to eat something that got shit on top of it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, shit can be delicious without you sprinkling some like fucking cow dung on top of the shit. It's like every time Minister Jap could be saying something like that actually makes sense, and then he ruined the whole message with the insult on top of it, or accusation, or a damn assumption. It's just like, you was headed in the right direction, dude. Why you go left? Like, come back to the light, dude. Like, golly. So I really, when I saw this, when I saw Olivia, because I'm doing all of my videos are about single mom life now, and of course I want to do more vlogs. Like the last vlog I did, I posted the Sunday before last, where I went to the beach with my daughter and her father. So it's footage of us up there. I mean, I have had like this healthy co-parenting experience, and so I wanted to show more of that. And then with my son, I wanted to show more of my son. With me and my son, and it's something we do together. But I mean, I don't know. I just feel like, to me, with me doing my single mom life stuff, is so much shit that we need to iron out as a community, as co-parenting with each other. It's so much stuff that needs to be fixed. I just prefer to discuss those things. Like me trying to get people to understand that as a man, like, say for instance, we still on the topic of Minister Job. Minister Job doesn't want men to date single mothers, right? But to me, it would be more beneficial to the black community as a whole if we encourage more men to help repair some of these families that are broken, simply because some broken man decide to abandon his children, or some woman who is broken chose the wrong partner to have a child with. Instead of continuing to allow it to be broken, or not doing what we should to fix it, just leaving it broken, that's not helping the community as a whole, because it's going to take everybody making a change, everybody promoting healing, and spreading mental health awareness, and encouraging each other to communicate effectively without insulting each other and hurting each other, and getting over emotional, instead of thinking logically when we communicate with each other. I think it's just not productive. Like, I don't think it's helping. Yeah, it's entertainment, and yeah, it's funny to some men to see another man dragging to filth a specific type of woman that he doesn't want women, or doesn't want other men to date or get involved with. Yeah, it seems funny, or it seems entertaining, but at the same time, it's just like, how is it helping your community? Like, as a man, do you feel like creating content of any kind on social media where you are injuring someone who has been hurt, as a man, do you feel like that is enough? Do you take honor in that? Because to me, it's like, you couldn't possibly take honor in yourself. Take, like, you can't honor yourself and feel good about yourself when you're doing something that's counterproductive to the community. Like, if you're not helping with it, how is this helpful? Like, how is it healing? It's not healing. That's what bugs me, because it isn't what people think. Like, when I think of Jap, I think about all of the stuff that he has done to try to destroy me. But at the same time, like I said before, the fact that Minister Jap or any man on social media could come to a man that I'm about to have a child by and get him to turn his nose up at me did me a huge fucking favor, because that meant right there that he wasn't the right dude for me anyway, because my man's supposed to protect his. He's supposed to protect what's his. I was his. Our son is his. That's who he's supposed to be protecting, but that's not what he did. So when it was brought to my attention that I was actually fucking with the scum of the earth, it was like, oh, okay, right, okay, that's what we doing now. That's where we at with it. That's how we going. So yeah, it to me, like I said before, when I think about all of the stuff that annoyed the absolute fuck out of me, as far as Minister Job goes, the one thing I kept saying to myself is, you know what? I'm glad I got to see early on who my son's father was. And had Minister Jap not started all this fucking drama, years would have went by. And I wouldn't even have noticed what the fuck was going on with my son's father. And now that I'm glad I got to find that shit out early and not later on. And had we been together for years and shit like that. So anyway, but I just feel like, to me, a lot of the stuff that could actually help our community that comes out of Jab's mouth is like destroyed by all of the insults and roasting of single mothers. And to take delight out of destroying someone who already has like a self-esteem issue, to take delight out of that seems like mentally, like whoever would do that to me seems mentally unstable. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't know. Like, that's all I can say about that. As far as Olivia goes, Olivia and Gerard, maybe there's something going on about this relationship that we don't know. But for me, I always feel like if two people break up, all right, y'all broke up for a reason, man. When I break up with somebody, that's it. We don't get back together. I'm done with you. I don't want nothing to do with you. We can be cool. If we got kids, we can be co-parents. But once we break up, that's it. I don't circle back. Because, excuse me, if I fight for my relationship, I fight for my relationship while I'm still in it. Because to me, I'm about commitment. I'm about loyalty. I'm about working hard to improve something. So I like to stay in my relationships. So if it gets to a point where I don't even want to be in a relationship with you no more, or you're not fighting hard enough for us to stay in a relationship, once it's over, I'm out. I'm out. So this couple supposedly broke up, Olivia and Gerard. They got kids together, and then they tried to get back with each other to work it out. Now that makes sense. I've said before, when people can do that. But to me, y'all breaking up to begin with, or getting to a point where y'all want to break up, is enough for that shit to be over and done. Living with each other out of convenience or just for sex, that's a whole nother thing, because that's what was going on with Priestess Sidonia. That's what, and you see what, like, if you know the story of me, Priest, and Sidonia, and my son, you know how we ended up getting in this situation to begin with, because Priestess Sidonia was supposedly separated for 2 years, but they were still living together out of convenience and sex. They were still sleeping together and living with each other to help each other financially, right? So, to me, that seems to be what Olivia and Gerard are doing. And what will happen If Gerard starts trying to date somebody else, or if Olivia starts trying to date somebody else, or you know what I'm saying, it's so much gray area in that situation that I don't know. It's hard for me to place judgment on either one of them. So I'm not going to do that. But I am going to say people can salvage their relationship. Me, I don't bother with it once we broke up. But some people do salvage their relationship. Do I think Olivia and Gerard can? I don't know them well enough to know. But I do know that that shit that Jack posted in her in her chat asking her about the lifestyle that Gerard provided for her, it made me wonder. It made me wonder, like, he was probably the person that was providing for both of them for a long time. Did she, like, that's my question. Had there ever been a time where Gerard just handled everything on his own? Had there ever been a time? Because, I mean, if there had been a time, you know, that could be understandable. Because sometimes, men and women have ups and downs as far as their finances go. So maybe he's having a down period. You understand? And that's understandable. I've had a down period. I get that. You know? So I don't know. It's just that whole relationship to me. That's just I don't know. I don't know. But I mean, it did give me something to think about when I saw Jap ask her, what type of lifestyle was he providing for her. And being Miss Independent myself, the way that I was looking at men bringing finances into the relationship, it wasn't even something that I was requiring simply because I had enough money. And it didn't occur to me that if I was down on my luck or if something happened to me, would we be able to survive still because he would kick in the gear? It didn't occur to me until I got in the situation and my son's father jumped ship and left me to fend for myself in a hotel. That's when it got real for me because I was like, did this nigga really just be bitch made? Like, I was like, did this nigga really just jump ship and leave me sitting here pregnant with a baby in a damn hotel? I could not fathom why a man would do something like that. And then I realized I wasn't dealing with a man. He's not a man. No man would do that. That's a little boy trying to figure out what to do. That's a little boy sitting there confused, not knowing what the fuck. So I was like, okay, all right. So now, like I said, the guy that I'm dating now, he's already shown me that he's a provider. Just he don't play that. You know what I'm saying? Like he not about to do that with no woman. And it's okay for me to be female around him or to allow him to provide. My daughter's father was a provider like that. Like he didn't play like that either. He was the type of person like, listen, you're not about to be out here, like, you're not no. I think it's because he didn't want my daughter to see me in a certain way as well. He didn't want, like, if I needed something from my daughter's father, he's just always been, there. He's still like that. If we need anything, he's there. Like if I need something for Justice, I can just hit up my daughter's father and he'd give it to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, I just feel like he looks at me, I'm a woman. So he feels like, as a woman, he's a man. He needs to do what he can for a woman, especially if he has a child with her. Like he's not, I don't know. It's just the difference between men and boys. Alpha males and beta males. That it's just a difference, and I just don't see Gerard as the alpha male. But he ain't my man, and I don't know him well, so I can't really say. But just how he deals with Olivia, to me, I just don't see alpha male yet. Okay, I mean, like just how, and the reason why I spoke about this is because of my situation with Priest. At least Gerard is around. I can say that at least he's around his kids. At least he wants to some degree, help with the situation, because according to her, he's started a job today, actually. Today's Monday, right? He supposedly started his job today. Well, I mean, congratulations to him on his new job. That's what's up. So if he's doing what he can, it's more than being a man, is more than just providing financially. You understand? Being a man for a woman or for your kids, you got to be present. You understand? I would have respected Priest strictly off him just being present. Like, had he not left me and Justice behind, I would have just respected him off of the strength of that. Even if he couldn't provide for us financially the way that, we needed, I still would have respected him as a man. And so now it's hard for me to respect him at all, like as a human being, because he left a pregnant woman in a hotel sick. I mean, you know, you know what I'm saying. So I don't know. Keeping busy. I see you in my chat trolling, dear. Um, I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about, but if you would elaborate, I would be happy to um talk with you. You know, tell me what you're thinking. I will be happy to. Ooh, my bad. I zoomed in. Oh, I would be happy to talk to you. Um, I don't know what you think. I think he's saying. I don't know what he's saying. Stop lying about. Because I've been talking about Olivia and fucking uh Gerard. I don't know this situation, so maybe this person has me confused. I don't know. So anyway, but I don't know. I just feel like being in the situation I was in, it's just easy for me to come to women now and say, listen, think about what these men can do for you, not just financially, but just the strength that you need a man to have. Just for a man to be loyal to you, to be honest with you, to, respect you. You can't even get those little things from them, then it's no need in being with them. You know what I mean? It's no need even wasting your time with them, personally. I saw a lot of people react to Olivia's video. I'm surprised because what I'm confused about is if her and this guy had done live streams before. Because people was like surprised about this specific live stream. So, I don't know. Okay, boom. uh, I should get moving. I really should. I'm supposed to start at like 4. It's 2:39. I got time. I got time. I got a couple more minutes to be in this live stream. So, I don't know. If anybody got some questions, I would definitely answer them. I don't want Olivia to think I'm beefing with her either, because I know how people be doing in these YouTube streets. They be tell Olivia Soncerae said, bah, bah, bah. Have her mad at me and shit. Have her mad at me. What does your shirt say? My shirt says, I'm not a human, I'm an entrepreneur. I got this from my homeboy. His name is Gerald Baz. He's an investor. He has a company called the 1%. And what they do is help people with their finances, basically. So this is one of the shirts. I'm not a human, I'm an entrepreneur. That's what it is. He got a whole bunch of different ones. I told him to start selling them, get him some bread. Get him some bread. Another source of income. But yeah, so my son love this shirt. My son like any shirt that got words on it. My son can read. Can y'all believe that? My son can read. My son only 18 months old. And he can read already. Kids usually can't read until they 6. My son already know how to read. He already know, and it's good. It's like, excuse me. I think it's because from day one, like the day he was born, I started to teach him. From that point on, I taught him every day. It's been every day consistently, all day, every day. That's all we do is teach him. all day. Me, my mother, his sister, teach him all day, every day. Because I mean, I just want to make sure he goes and he gets his education. If anything else, I just want him to be aware, because knowledge is what gets you successful. And I just want my son to be, smart, make some good decisions. I definitely want him to be a better man than his father. I definitely want him to, when he's choosing women to date, he chooses a woman who's better than I am. So, you know. I totally agree with you, sis. That's why I'm subscribed to you. Love, keep doing what you are doing. Thank you, Malicia. Malicia. Thank you, Malicia. I try to be fair. I don't try to be the popular person. I don't try to always have the popular opinion or say what everybody else want me to say. I speak about my truths. I speak about, I do the best that I can with what I know. And that's all I can do. I can't be, what everybody else wants me to be. I can only do my best and give people the advice, that I learned through experiences. And I've been through a lot of shit. Like, I've been through so much shit that I could have avoided had somebody, guided me. That's why I'm so, like, that's why when I see younger girls, or I give advice so much on my channel, because I remember going through life needing someone to say something to me or to help me with something. And then when I would go to, like, my mom, or, my aunts or something like that to help me with my experience, no one was there. No one could give me any sound advice. So I spend my time just making sure that with my message, I'm clearer. Because sometimes I feel like I said this before in other live streams, sometimes I feel like I'm, like, bad at communicating what I'm thinking or what I'm trying to convey. I have a hard time communicating it. Looks like I missed the title's topic, but I know it was great. Well, I was just talking about, for those of you who may have just come into the live stream, what I'm talking about is Minister Job coming into this girl named Olivia's live chat, asking her what type of lifestyle does her man provide for her. And it's, out of all of the things he said, that was the one thing that stuck with me. Because the reason why it stuck with me is because when I needed my son's father to kick into gear because I couldn't work, he was not providing a healthy environment for me, which he should have. Because in a partnership, we're not just talking about where one person is the breadwinner, or one person is better than the other. Just in a general partnership, when one person is struggling or maybe sick, the other person is supposed to kick into gear. So when I'm looking at this Olivia and Gerard couple, I'm thinking to myself, how good is Gerard to her? And to me, he just didn't come off as, like, a good guy for her. And that them two had already broken up already. And to me, it looks like they're better off broken up and should just figure out how to co-parent with each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see how their relationship is healthy, but I'm only seeing it from one perspective. I'm only seeing it from one side because I don't know the details about their relationship to be able to make sound judgment. I don't know them well enough, so I can only go off of what I've seen. And what it looks like is it's an unhealthy situation. The way that he carries himself, and the way that I don't know, it's kind of how he addressed her, or kind of how he was carrying himself. He's just not a good person for her. It just seems that way. It could have just been a bad live stream. Like, my perspective could be warped. You never know, you know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to, you know, say that finally, for the first time, I saw Minister Jack post something and he wasn't being disrespectful to somebody. A lot of times when he's addressing a woman that he may disagree with, he's disrespectful to her. So this was the first time I actually seen him ask questions and he wasn't disrespectful. Now, she was getting agitated, of course, because he was asking, questions that was too serious for the current tone. Like, I think she was drunk, so to ask her all of these serious questions while she was sitting there drunk just seemed a little too much. But hey, the opportunity was there, so I guess Jap took advantage of it. But she just, was agitated from that. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I just feel like as women, the one thing we got to start thinking about first when we're dating guys is how well of a provider these men are. Because in a partnership, two people are supposed to bring something to the table. And in the event that one of them gets ill or one of them gets sick or one of them loses their job, the other one should be able to kick into gear or care enough to work harder so that it can be stabilized until one of those people get back on their feet. You understand? And so that's what the whole premise of me making this live stream was about, was just really I just went through this with my son's father. And had he just been there for me until I maybe got 2 more months in, because he left like at the end of my first trimester of pregnancy, and I was still sick. I still couldn't fend for myself. It was like I was struggling so hard. I remember when I moved into another hotel room from the hotel room we was in, and I struggled just to move my stuff to the other hotel room. I needed him so bad. And I kept telling him, yo, I need you. I am pregnant and sick. I cannot move all of my stuff. I need you here with me. And he just completely shut me out altogether. Someone that claimed that they cared for me did this. Not because I did anything to them, but because he wasn't man enough for me to begin with. He wasn't man enough for me to begin with. And instead of me realizing this from the beginning, I just gave him the benefit of the doubt, thinking because I was the one financially in a good place that I could carry us if I needed to. But he was literally draining me. He was an energy vampire. He was literally draining me, not just financially, but just draining me of my spirit, draining me of everything. I mean, he's part of the reason why I was losing sources of income to begin with. So, had I from the beginning looked at him as someone who could help out financially, we probably wouldn't have ended up in that situation. So that means, ladies, when you meet a man, you better make sure he got his own car, his own house, and he ain't living off another woman. Because all he gonna do is come and leash off of you. Because that was my son's father's shit. He was living with Sidonia. When I met him, I didn't even know he was living with her. I thought he was living by himself all that time. I thought he was living by himself, and then when he told me the real, it was like, nigga! Like, why didn't you tell me this before? I was so pissed. I was so pissed. But I do, like Mickey is saying, Mickey Love Lynn, never give money to a man or help out. Listen, when I first, the way that I used to date, right? I used to be the woman that would pay for dates, go half and half. Once we were in a relationship, they could pay for the first couple of dates. And then it got to a point where I didn't care who paid for the date because I was making money. So to me, it didn't matter who paid for the date as long as the date was fucking paid for, right? But that's the wrong way to handle things when you are looking for a man to be a partner. Because, see, here's my thing. I'm a woman and I respect my womanhood and I respect a man's womanhood. And usually, I mean, a man's womanhood, manhood. Usually, men are like wanting to be that. They want to provide for the woman that they care for if they're truly a man. Men who aren't truly a man have no problem with their hand out asking a woman for something. See, my son's father is used to being around women who provide for their men because all of the women that were around him were providing for their men at the time, with the exception of his mom. So he had like his sister and even his brother's girlfriend were providing for the men in their life. Like they were the breadwinners. And even with Priestess Sidonia was supposedly the one who had money. Right? So my son's father never really did for himself. He had always been taken care of by someone else. So had I looked into his history and his track record and looked for myself to see had he fit for himself, it would have been this situation wouldn't have ended how it did. because I would have saw, oh, he has the pattern of somebody else taking care of him, not him being independent on his own. Men will provide for who they want to provide for. The ones that they take money from are most likely not the one that they want to be with. I have learned this the hard way. Well, I don't know if it's not the one that they want to be with. I just know that a lot of these men are clinging on to women strictly off of them just wanting someone to help them survive. It's about self-perseverance. It's about survival. They're looking for someone to help them. And so for me, like, okay, when I first got with Priest, right, we used to go half and half with everything. But Priest still bought me stuff. Like, he bought me clothes, he bought me jewelry, he paid for dates. So it wasn't that he wasn't doing anything. It's just most of everything we was doing was like half and half. But if you hear any man, real alpha male, tell it, they'll tell you, listen, my woman don't have to pay for utilities. My woman don't have to pay for a mortgage. If she wants to do that, she can, but it's not required of her. She doesn't have to do that because I provide. That's what most men feel. They feel like they provide. Now, if you're in a marriage or a partnership, like I said before, in the event something goes wrong, somebody that is the other person in who is 100% healthy can go out there and hold the fort down, until whenever. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was expecting my son's father to do. We don't need Build-A Bears. We need Papa Bear. That's so true. Like Mr. Live, Mr. Live. Explain since you in here, explain your partnership with your wife. Explain how, because the thing about the dynamic of Mr. Live and his wife, which I'm not going to get into too detail about, but she has passed away. Okay, she's no longer with us, and that's very sad, but he very much still loves this woman. Okay, so very much still loves this woman. So anyway, she also held up her own in the marriage as well. But to me, the way that Mr. Live comes off is, if his wife was ill, or if his wife lost her job or something like that, he would have kicked into gear in a heartbeat. Because number one, they got kids together. So he would have just did it. He would have did whatever he needed to do. With my son's father, what I was expecting my son's father to be out here doing is working extra hard to make sure we had enough money to be able to survive while I was still sick like that. See, this wasn't about whether we were still together or not. This was about him manning up and going out there and making sure that we was okay as a family, or at least getting it to a point where I could take care of myself and our son. And then he could have gone off and slept with a whole bunch of women if that's what he wanted to do. But that's not what he was thinking. He was thinking about sleeping with other women. And I'm thinking, dude, you don't even have a pot to piss in, and you're thinking about sleeping with other women? Like, what is wrong with you? You're thinking about getting back with exes and sleeping with women at your job and all of this stuff. Think about getting a pot to piss in first before you out here, wanting to date. I just couldn't understand why he was thinking about that while we were sitting in a hotel and I'm sitting here pregnant and we ain't got no stable place to live yet. So to me, that is partially my damn problem. I I saw what type of man he was, right? And I gave him the benefit of the doubt because I was thinking, as long as I can work, we always gonna have money. Cause I'm a workaholic. I do it. I go out there and gets it. I just didn't factor in what would happen if I got sick or if something was wrong with me. A man who doesn't provide for his family is the biggest drain of society. Thank you, Trucker Devon. That is so true. Like the worst thing a male can do is not provide for his family, leave a woman while she's pregnant, betray a woman while she's pregnant. Like, that's the worst thing that you could do to a woman. Ask any woman who's been pregnant. The worst thing that you could do to her while she's pregnant is not take care of her, cheat on her, hurt her. Because, see, that's the most fragile state we're in. When we're pregnant, That's more fragile than damn anything. Okay, so you got to be careful on how you treat women when they're pregnant, man. If you can treat a woman bad while they're pregnant, yo, you're not a man, man. You are not a man. Like something is not right with you. I don't understand 50-50 relationships or men that want to be in them. Okay, that's a quote from Love and Marriage Huntsville. I should start watching that because I be seeing the little clips on YouTube about that. I should check it out because I heard a lot of people say that they like it. I think 50-50. I personally think that with partnerships, sometimes it's 80-20. Sometimes it's 50-50. Sometimes it's 60-30. Sometimes, sometimes it's never one, way. You know what I'm saying? Like, because life is, sometimes shit happens. Like, yesterday, okay, so Sunday, let me give you an example of this guy. Like, okay, so yesterday, I got stuck in the desert. I got stuck in the desert. Okay, I was out somewhere and got stuck in the desert. And so I was out there for 2 hours. I couldn't, all I had was my Cash App card, right? Now, mind you, my Cash App card is my business card. So it's only attached to like a account that's a prepaid account. I don't put it, I don't have another business account yet. And I've been like slacking on my pimping, not getting another business account since I came to California. So I have a regular account, but it's attached to my son's Cash App. Now, I don't have any cards. I don't have no ID. I don't have nothing. I'm stuck in the desert with no gas. And somehow my Cash App card is in the car. So for 2 hours, I'm like hitting up people like, yo, cash at me $30 so I can get some gas so I can go back to San Francisco. Because I was like way out. Like, don't even ask me how I ended up out there. Because that's a whole nother story. I was like way, oh my God. I felt like I was like in Nevada or some shit. Anyway, I was like, yo, I'm in the desert. Like, I need some money. So, nothing in me said hit this dude up because I'm thinking it's a new situation, and this is a bad thought process, ladies. Do not. I'm thinking because it's a new situation, I shouldn't ask him to help me. So I didn't even think to hit him up. I didn't think to hit him up at all. I was just like, yo, I asked my pastor, I asked my best friends, I was just hitting up whoever. I was like, somebody cash at me so I can get out of the desert. So he hit me up just randomly, right? Because he was just thinking about me. He hit me up and said, I don't know what he said. He said something. I can't remember. It was something, but it had nothing to do with nothing. And I said, oh, I forgot, because he was like on his way to go somewhere. I think he was going to a party or something. And I said, I thought you was at the party already. And then I told him I was in the desert. And I told him what happened to me. In 30 minutes, I had more money than what I asked him for, because he cashed at me more money than I asked him for. Because all I was looking for was $20 to put in the gas tank. I didn't need a lot of money. I just needed gas to get back to where my ID and my purse and stuff was, because it was in the house. And I had left it in the house by accident. And he just, no hesitation. He was like, I can't have you out there like that. And here I was thinking it was too early in the situation for me to rely on him. Men need to be doing man shit from day one. Day one. It's never too early for a man to show you he's a provider, or show you that he's just a kind-hearted person. Like, I call him a kindness addict, because he likes to do kind stuff. Like, he over the weekend helped pass out Thanksgiving turkeys. That's what he was doing over the weekend. I was just like, this dude, man. This dude, he's just a great guy. So I'm glad I ran into him. He's pretty decent. I'm glad. So anyway, he showed that he provides. Tell us about your wife. When she got sick, we never had to wait.
I hate my chat. It just gets on my nerve. Uh, when she got sick, we never had to downgrade or fall short in any kind of way. You're right, I was prepared just in case something happened to make sure that my family will always be taken care of via investments, savings, and being a good steward of our finances. She did not have to worry about anything. All she had to do was focus on her health. Exactly. Here's my thing, because you prepare for that. See, think about this. Think about how life happens sometimes. Like with me and Priest, it kind of just happened because we weren't thinking that way. We were just trying to plan to find a home. We didn't know we was going to get pregnant. But then when we got pregnant, it was time to create another plan, not ditch the plan, not ditch each other, ditch plan and create another. That's what was supposed to happen. But unfortunately, that's not what my son's father thought to do. I don't think he knew what to do. Men of a certain era, the diet may have changed the texture of most of the new school males. That is funny. Here's my thing. I think because new age women can go out here and provide for the family as well, I think men and women are expecting men and women to be equal. Still, to me, will never be equal. Men and women will never be equal. You understand? It will always be a difference there because we're different. We're built different. It's certain things that women are good at that men suck at, and it's certain things that men are good at that women suck at. You know what I mean? So I just don't. Just because we can both provide in a financial way doesn't mean we're equal. I just don't see it. Um, let's see. Unless the woman is a nympho, I don't see how she'd find it appealing to lay with a man that doesn't provide for her. What is she celebrating there and then? Well, here's what Olivia was saying. She was saying she a boss bitch, basically. And she could go out here and provide for herself because she independent. She can go out here and she can do, you know, she could do whatever. I'm sorry I'm moving around a lot. I'm sorry.